ClimateSync, controlling it from a computer using ASCII commands, connecting the computer with a USB-C cable going to the ClimateSync. We then run a PuTTY program or the 10-ways comb, which you can download from our website. We will then go and choose option of communication number 1, which is to communicate with the ClimateSync RS-232 on the USB-C. And we're going to choose 1, enter. It's going to ask us which serial port. The ClimateSync that we will communicate with is on COM number 6, so we will type 6, enter. And now it will connect to the device and also reset the ClimateSync. Meanwhile, we'll see information about the ClimateSync, the firmware version, the MAC address, the address of the ClimateSync itself. This one is addressed as 0. You can have up to 16 ClimateSyncs in one daisy chain. You're going to see here the floor limit temperature, which is set to 27 degrees. The zones which have floor limit active. Here we're going to see the common switch settings, and here we will see the zone switch settings. So we can see that number 1 is all of them are on, which means that all 8 zones are active and they're going to appear on the CoolMaster as well. Then on number 2, we will see that there's 2 zones which are set with floor limit. And then we can see also that there are 5 zones over here which are set to 1, dip switch number 3, which means it's set not as wet underfloor heating, in this case it's electric underfloor heating. We can see the 3 Modbus lines. One is a master, number 1 is a master to type 3 to talk to cooling hub and cool plug. In line 2 we have over here type 11 talks to the TR9 controllers, and line 3 is a slave talking to the CoolMaster, and the address of that one is 1. Then we have over here the ASCII control enabled, which is SWC dip switch 8 on. We can see it's set to Celsius, etc. Heat mode is AC heat, and HUX is underfloor heating. We can set the wiring center with the dip switch, which will change it that when you use heat mode, it won't be AC heat, but underfloor heating. And this is for automation drivers that do not have both AC heat mode and underfloor heating modes, only one heat mode. Then we'll see some temperatures that picks up reading under a restart. A floor temperature, we'll see for zones 4 and 5 in this case, because we can see that the only zones which are set with floor limit here you can see is zones 4 and zone 5. And we'll see room temperature of all the zones because they are all active. If they're not active, it will not show here. Okay, now that it's finished, you see it's done. We can look at the ASCII commands. So we will start with on and off commands. If I send the command on enter, it will switch all the units on. If I send an off enter, it will set all the units to off. If I set on and then a zone, so on 1, for example, zone 1 will go on 2, zone 2 will go on. Let's have a look at it in practice. So we're going to first of all type ls, line status, to see all the units. So we can see over here all the units, zones 1 to 8. Everything is off, everything is HUX mode, low fan speed. We see the set point, the room temperature, and the floor temperature. If we have TR9 controllers connected, we'll also see the room temperature reading from the controllers. Now we said on command, so on, enter, and we're going to do ls, and now we're going to see that all the zones are on. Off, all the zones will be off. Let's do ls, and all the zones are now off. And we're going to do on 1, and here zone number 1 is going to now go on. Now controlling the mode. So we have 2 ways of controlling the mode. Either typing the mode name, just the name, enter, and that's going to do it to all the zones, or the mode name with the zone. And that can be cool, that could be heat, for example. You see heat or heat in with a zone. That could be auto with a zone. That could be dry mode or dry with a which zone. HUX with a zone. Fan mode, fan with a zone. or HH mode. And again, HH, heating, underfloor heating and air conditioning, together with the zone as well. So this is the second option, or the first option in our case, and the second option will be to do it like this. You type mode, the zone, comma, and the value. And here you have values from 0 to 6, which they correspond to different modes. So we will look at some examples now. So as we said, mode zone. If we do mode zone 0, and then we put a value, and we'll do it to all the zones. If we do mode and then zone 1 to 8, whatever we do, and then we can put a comma and a value, and it will do it to that specific zone. Let's have a look at it at practice. So here we can see that all the zones now are on HX mode. So if I'm going to just type cool, enter, and it's going to apply it to all the zones, LS, and here it's applied cool to everything. But if I'm going to do heat 1, it will apply the heat mode now only to one zone, with CLS and only zone number 1, right? So I could do, for example, we have heat and then cool, we'll do zone 3 as auto, okay? And that will be auto 3, and it will change zone 3 to auto, and zone 4 to fan, so it will be fan 4. And then we will look at LS, and we had you see here, heat, cool, auto, and fan, the different modes. Or we can do it as we said by doing it with, if you need it for the automation driver to do it in that way, you could do a mode, you put the zone and then a value between 0 to 6. So this is how you control the mode. Now setting the temperature. So to set the temperature, we send the command ST for set temperature, the zone, comma, and the value. If we do it to zone 0, it will set all the zones. If we do it to a specific zone, it will do it only for that zone. Let's have a look at it. So if we do, for example, ST0, comma, we will change it now to 25 degrees. And we will see now that we will do LS, that all the zones change to 25 degree set point. But if we do ST1, 23, we will see that now only zone number 1 changed to 23, the rest is still on 25. Setting the fan speed, here we can see that the command is FS for fan speed, zone number, again 0 will be for all zones, and then the value. The values are here, 0 is low, 1 is medium, etc. Some aircon systems have only some of the zone modes, speeds, not all the speeds. So have that in mind. Let's have a look at it in practice. At the moment, all the units are in fan speed low. So we will send a command to all the units, and the command will be FS0 is for all the zones, comma, and we will now change it to high, which is number 2. So we will then send, once it says okay, we'll send an LS, and we can say that all of them change to high. If I'm gonna do FS1 for zone 1, fan speed for zone 1, comma, and I'm gonna put it on 0, we're going to see after that the only zone 1 now changed to low, the others remained on high. So that's how we set the fan speed. If we have an aircon unit that has a swing flap, then we can also change the swing type. You can see over here the same thing. Swing commands the zone or 0 for all of them, and then the value. And here we have the values for different swing modes and the value. Thank you for watching.